Winery, Moscow's oldest and only winery here, right downtown Moscow. We're actually North Idaho's oldest winery. I got my start here making wine. It was more accidental. I think my neighbor brought me over a couple bottles of wine and said, try it. And if you like it, you can make your own. It's really easy. And he brought me a list of everything I needed to use, and you know, I was more than welcome to borrow his stuff, but I was like, nah, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to get into it and use my own equipment. So started with that, and been brewing at home just as a home brewer, I guess, really for the last 5 years at home. 2 years ago, my father was actually unloading some equipment off of a truck, and the driver's daughter was going to the school up here at the University of Idaho, and they got talking back and forth, and how the winery come up, I still don't have a clue, and then it was about a month after the fact, I was talking to my mother, and you could hear Dad in the background, don't forget to tell him about the winery. And we started to look into it a little bit more here and dug further and found out that it was more of a reality than some far-fetched thing. But even prior to here, it was never no long-term lifetime dream of ever owning a winery. We just kind of definitely stumbled into it. The process of winemaking here, we actually get our grapes from the Tri-Cities area. We own the crusher stemmer there, and we bring the juice and the skins back here to the winery, and we offload them off in the back alley. And then we actually put them into our stainless tank, and from there it's a 7 to 12 day fermentation process, and then from there we go into the fining process, which is basically to clarify and make sure that it's a clean, crisp wine, make sure that we don't have any off flavors. Tank number 4 actually has our Limburger in it right now, and we're actually in the process of fining everything, so it should be about ready to go to start the bottle. So we'll start filtering it probably this next couple weeks. This is what we filter through, and then we filter it from here into our big tank. And from there it's either storing it into tanks, barrels, or ready for bottling at that time. So this is our bottle filler, and it's a 6-bottle bottle filler. It's a automatic stop. There's just an O-ring on the bottom that stops the flow of wine coming out of it. So the back side is actually a tray set that you can actually set different size bottles, whether we're filling split bottles, full bottles, hock, what have you. But it's a very simple process. But they go in and they basically set and rest, but it's a slow fill that fills the bottle. Once your bottle's full, pull it off just straight down, and every bottle should be pretty close to about the same bottle fill within just microns. Your full bottle, it's set on a little micro switch that just basically just a little touch sends the bottle up to the top side and sends the needle fork down into the bottle and pushes the cork ends. But it's a pretty easy process. You never want to keep your hand in the top side, they'll actually take your finger off. But it's just a quick process. that easy. We've got 24 different types of wines here, from dry wines, sparkling wines, all the way to mead wines, which are fermented fruit and honey and or just honey. My favorite wine here is actually our raspberry mead. I think some of that was my very first commercial wine that I made here. We've actually won well over 50 different commercial winemaking awards. This last year we had entered into a wine competition in Idaho, and there were 178 or 179 different wines that were submitted, one of which we sent our raspberry mead, and it actually, of all the wines there was a double gold placed and 10 gold medals that were placed. We were one of those 10 gold medals. There should be always something there that you probably have a taste for. I truly believe that. It's all about volume and getting air introduced back into your wine. The flavor. It's all not just about taste, it's about smell as well. You can't swirl it by hand, but place it on the table. What you're going to do is about the swirl, swirl, sniff, sniff. So you're basically opening that wine up, trying to open that bouquet up. Your very first time you're going to open up that bouquet by 5%. You're going to sip and also inhale a little tiny bit, whether it's through your mouth as well as through your nose. And then don't guzzle it, kind of play around with it a little bit in your mouth. It should be hopefully beyond what you expect.